What's up, guys? Welcome back to another week of the Kevin's Coast to Coast Gambling Show. Usually hosted by Nick. He's out this week. I'm stepping in. I'm Dave. I'm covering for him. Let's take a look back at last week. Both Kevins hit on their locks. West Coast Kev had the Bucks and Seahawks to win. East Coast Kev had the Bucks and the Saints. West Coast Kev went 0-2 in the primetime games. East Coast Kev went 1-2. East Coast Kev, he's now 2-1 on locks and 3-4 in primetime, while West Coast Kev is 1-2 on locks and 2-4 in prime time. Nick jumped in there, I want to say like week 3. So he's 1-1 on locks and 4-2 in prime time. I'm going to jump in this week with some picks. I'm going to get into, the Kev's locks and what their primetime picks are for this week. I'll do the same. But before that, I'd like to kind of run through the slate of the schedule, have a little bit of fun here, and kind of pick all of these games. So just kind of taking a look at the 1 p.m. starts. I'm going with the Panthers plus 2.5. Against the just absolute horrible Dan Quinn, how have you not been fired, Atlanta Falcons. 2-2 Panthers against an 0-4 Falcons. Falcons are better than the record, but still, man, I got to believe Teddy Bridgewater is going to figure out a way to get Dan Quinn fired for good. 1-2-1 Cincinnati Bengals at the 3-1 Baltimore Ravens. The line, I think, was 12.5, moved down to 11.5 points. Lamar Jackson was sick this week. He had like a stomach bug. He had like a knee thing. A one-legged Lamar Jackson with the stomach flu is a pretty big favorite. So I'm going to go with Lamar, even if RG3 has to step in there at some point. Houston, Bill O'Brien finally fired. GM, coach Bill O'Brien. Turns out trading DeAndre Hopkins, not the best. So they are looking for their first win. I think they're actually favored by 5.5 points in this game. I got to imagine Romeo Crennel is going to figure out a way for them to win against the Jacksonville Jaguars, which just not great. Kansas City versus the Raiders. Man, kind of a tough division, right? It's not. I wouldn't say it's a division game, but I don't know how much of a rivalry it is at this point. Chiefs are favored by 11.5 points. I'm gonna go ahead and take that one. Broncos versus Patriots. Patriots favored by 8. Got to go with the Pats at home, coming off that weird game. Whether or not Cam Newton's out there, I don't think he's going to be. The Cardinals, I think the Cardinals get back on track against the Jets. The Jets are probably your standard get back on track versus just about anyone. Kyler Murray, remember when Kyler Murray was the MVP week 2? Oh, man, how far we've come. Eagles versus Pittsburgh, the horrible Pennsylvania rivalry. I got to go with the Steelers. Carson Wentz just stands there and pats the ball for 5.5 seconds per play. I got to imagine that T.J. Watt is just going to be all over that. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Steelers at -7. The Rams against my hometown Washington football team. Only favored by 7.5, which is it's a little bit. I would have expected the spread to be a little bit further out, considering how horrible the Skins offense is and how when they want to, the Rams can really put some points up. So keep an eye on that one. I might come back to that for a pick later on, but obviously going to take the Rams, despite Chase Young being back, despite the defense kind of looking back, a little bit better for the Skins. 49ers, Garoppolo's back. They're favored by 8.5 points over the Dolphins. I got to imagine, I think they get literally everyone back. Last week they got Kittle back and, put up an insane fantasy score for the owners out there. I think Mostert is back. Garoppolo's back. Kittle's out there. I think they got Dabo, one of the wide receivers, back. So it's Colts-Browns, probably the most intriguing matchup of the weekend. I think that I'm going to take the Browns at +1, just because I think they're a little bit. People are looking at the Dallas game, but listen, and Odell Beckham Jr. having a weird outlier game with 3 touchdowns. But I'm going with Kevin Stefanski if I can. You know what I mean? I think he's finally figured out a way to help Baker Mayfield out a little bit. Plus the Browns defense with a not so mobile, not so accurate these days, Phillip Rivers. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Browns +1. Cowboys versus Giants. Ooh, I mean, the Giants look pretty bad, but I think they're better than their record at 0-4. Dallas is probably worse at 1-3. Cowboys are favored by 9. That's pretty crazy. One line has the boys at -7.5. I would, kind of a weird line, man. I don't know. I mean, Dallas will put up some points. I got to go with the boys on this one. 1-3 Minnesota Vikings versus the 4-0 Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are favored by a touchdown. I got to go with the Seahawks at home. Chargers at Saints. Saints are favored -9. I got to go with the Saints. I watch a lot of Chargers football in Southern California, so I get to watch almost every Rams game, every Chargers game. Love Justin Herbert. Looks great. He just doesn't have a whole lot of, there's still a few pieces away. They've had some injuries. The defense has been good and then bad and then good and then bad. So I think it's just not going to be enough to kind of slow down Drew Brees and Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara. And all right, so now let's take a look at our picks for the week. West Coast Kev's lock is going to be the Steelers in the first half -4, and then the Seahawks -7, the Chargers +9 in the prime time games. East Coast Kev, his lock is Steelers and Rams parlay. Okay? And then he's picking the Vikings and the Chargers in primetime. All right, now it's time for my mortal lock of the week. Taking the over in the Rams-Washington game. It's at 45 points right now. Dwayne Haskins has finally been benched. Leave him out there. I'm in full tank for Trevor Lawrence mode. Haskins hasn't shown any real glimpses that he can be a capable NFL quarterback. They're putting in a kid, Kyle Allen, who at least has shown glimpses. He's won some games, which I'm actually I'm not interested in right now. If Dallas could win and the Jets and anyone who's drafting ahead of the Skins right now, if they could go ahead and win, that would be great. I'm rooting for losses at this point, but Kyle Allen's going to get out there and do his damnedest. And at some point, I fear we're going to see Alex Smith. Jared Goff might have an absolute day against the pathetic Skins secondary of Troy Apke running around, an athlete who can't play football. You know, we've got some decent young corners. The linebacking crew, we have a linebacker, he's 50 years old, I think, is Davis Jr. But, Chase Young is back. He might put some pressure on Jared Goff. It's going to depend on how open they can get Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp and all that good stuff, and see what they do. If they can get another 3 touchdown day out of Tyler Higbee, watch for Higbee to have a big game, because the Skins can't cover tight ends. It's just every week. I'm betting with a little bit of a juice for the offense and Kyle Allen, who understands the system a little bit better. The Skins were already averaging about 17 or so points with Haskins, who doesn't understand the system whatsoever. Kyle Allen is going to go out there. He's going to be good for at least 20 points. The Rams are going to be good for at least 25, 30 points, I'd say, on that defense. It's a generous over-under. I'd go ahead and take the over on that one. And then in the primetime games, I'm going to go ahead and, as a surprise to almost no one, I'm sure, I'm going to go ahead and take the Seahawks, and I'm going to take the Saints. Those picks shouldn't be too shocking. Russell Wilson, undefeated, at home. Drew Brees against a rookie quarterback. But anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed. And we'll catch you next time. Thanks so much. Bye.